Hey Sagittarius, this is your November 2023 tarot reading for the month, and we will be looking at the beginning, middle, end of the month, and also any kind of challenge or advice, guidance that is coming through. So this is for Sagittarius sun or rising sign, right? So if this feels like it's a message that resonates, I'm still feeling like I want to keep sometimes it's just like I feel like I need to keep on shuffling. So if this message feels like it resonates with you, awesome, then it's your message for this month. If it doesn't, then, you know, if this is your sun sign, go check out your rising sign and see if that one resonates with you more. As always, the best way to get a really clear read on your particular situation and the specifics around that is to get a one-to-one reading. So whether that's with me or with someone else, you're welcome to book with me. If you want to do that, you can book that by going down to the description box, and there's links there for how you can book with me for that. I've also opened up some spots for astrology sessions as well, and I will be opening up probably later this month astrology and tarot sessions also, so those will be around. Ooh, I like this, Sag. Ooh, I like this, Sag. Oh, okay, Sag. hold up. All right, so let's take a look at what kind of challenge is coming up as well. Okay, and any spiritual advice. Feeling 2 cards there. All right. All right, Sag. Let's take a look at what we've got going on here. So, what area of life is coming into focus a little bit more for you this month? Like what seems to be a focus is your home life, right? Also your parents. If you didn't have, you know, like one parent or a different other, or the other parent, or both parents are gone, then maybe whoever your parental figures were, or guardian, or if let's say your parents have passed or something like that, then I would say this might have to do with some of the feelings that are there around that. Now, this isn't just about your parents, it can also be about your early home life, your early childhood, but also very much your today home life, like where you actually physically live, like in your home. Your home is as your sanctuary, like where you actually live, right? So home seems to be something that's up for you in some way. We start out the month with the World card. I really like that. And then we move into one of my favorite cards actually, which is the Queen of Wands. And then we have the Five of Pentacles, which I find very interesting. I feel like there's definitely a connection between these two, the challenge card being the Wheel of Fortune, and then we have the Emperor and the Page of Pentacles showing up for any kind of guidance. I might pull a different card because I was like not necessarily feeling that last card. I was like, I don't know, I feel like there's another card. So we'll see. I might feel differently by the time we get there. So let's get into each of these cards and figure out how your month is unfolding. So we start out with the World card. I like this. You know, the World card is definitely like this completion point, right? Like it's the end of one cycle and the beginning of another. So, you know, I've been saying for a lot of people, not for everyone, but for a lot of people, this last month of October, that particular eclipse season was a lot. Like some people are just like, I barely made it out alive, like crawling out of October into November. And so with eclipse seasons, we know that there are, you know, things get ushered in and things also get ushered out, things or people. So it's very much about cycles. It's very much about completion points. And so this, I feel like there is it could be related to the eclipses that just happened for you or not, but I feel like there is this point of completion, like I've come full circle. Okay, I'm done with that. And the thing about the World card that I really love is that she is, in this space of like being more integrated with the lessons that she's learned all throughout that path, right? We start out with the Fool card, and in the major arcana, we go through this whole adventure. We get to this end card, which is the World card, right? And so there is wisdom that is gleaned from this. There is moving into this next iteration of self. There is almost like a graduation point, right? And so remembering to bring this with you as you start over, because right from here, we start back over into the Fool card and we start a new adventure. So this is like the integration point. This is the completion point. I think it's good to recognize, deal with, and honor that about yourself. Now, in the middle of the month, it seems like, ooh, you're feeling yourself, Sag. You are like starting to really do this level up, right? It's kind of like, okay, you know, the Queen of Wands is passionate and warm and confident, and like she's just fun to be around. She's one of my, like, she's the person I would want to be around. I want to hang out with her. Definitely people associate her being more like magically related, more priestessy in a way, you know, like magic vibes. But yeah, the Queen of Wands is like, she's confident, she's passionate, she's like sexy, she's fun, she is feeling herself, she is bright, she is a delight to be around, right? You want her at your parties. So very warm, you know, like her level, her type of nurturing that comes with the queens is like, she's really stepping into this place where she is more embodied in herself, and more like her warmth and her nurturing comes from like the kind of warmth that she offers others in being this kind of fiery, lit up being. I hope that that makes sense. There's like these pictures I have in my mind. Sometimes I can't always get out the descriptors that really describe like what it is I'm feeling about the card, but I hope that that makes sense. So Queen of Wands, love it. And then I think like it's interesting because we come into the end of the month and we have the Five of Pentacles, and I'm gonna say for maybe a few of you out there, maybe this is about you needing to actually watch your finances. But for others of you, this could be kind of like, you know, when you hit that upper limit, right? Or that you hit the glass ceiling that you perceive is there. It's kind of like you have this really amazing night. Have you ever had this? Like you have this amazing night. Maybe you've like laughed with friends all night long and just like belly laughed until your cheeks hurt. And then like the next morning, it's almost like you have like if you feel down for some reason, you're just like, I'm not sure why I feel this way. Like I just had an amazing night. So it could be that you're like moving through this completion, really building yourself up, really starting to feel yourself. And then perhaps you have this kind of moment of like certain kinds of limiting beliefs or things come up that need to be challenged, right? So let's talk about this card, right? This card can be kind of like, people call it a victim type of mentality type card, right? It's feeling like you're out in the cold, like you're isolated, like you're alone, like, you know, you're alone in the world, like it's all on your shoulders, right? Like there's no one to help, or you don't have the resources, like it's like lack mentality, like that you feel like you might be lacking the resources to do what it is that you want to do, or to, yeah, just lacking the resources, whether that's money or that could be time, energy, attention, whatever it is. But there's a feeling of like lack, and it's perceived, right? Like the thing about this particular card that I always think about is like, there's the church behind them with the warm glow of lights, and they could very easily just like go into the church and be with community. And I think that, you know, there's an opportunity to question when we're in this place of lack, or feeling like all on our own, or feeling like it's all on our shoulders. And it's like, okay, well, question that. Is that really true? Am I perceiving things clearly? You know, maybe you may not have everything that you feel like you would like to have in order to do what it is that you want to do, but you might have everything you need to do what it is that you want to do. And maybe you need to reach out to other people in your community, and create a support structure, and, you know, be more connected to others. And so some of you may really just need that. You might be needing just to be connected to community, being a little too isolated perhaps. So it's interesting because we also see, as the challenge card, we have the Wheel of Fortune showing up, right? And with the Wheel of Fortune, it's like, you never know what it's going to land on, right? Whether you perceive it as like good or negative, whatever it is, the constant is change, right? And so when it's in a challenge position, I get the sense that there is a resistance to the changes that are happening. Like, maybe certain things are changing that you kind of are hopeful about, that you like, but certain things are changing that feel painful, or that you're like, I don't like this. I don't like this unknown piece. I don't know where this is going. This scares me. I have anxiety about this. I don't like it, right? And we all feel that in life, right? So let's just acknowledge that. So let's just acknowledge that. But I think it's made more difficult when we don't find a way to move with the energy, to find the opportunities inside of the changes that are occurring, you know, or that we need to maybe revisit lessons around how to be with the unknown, how to be with groundlessness, how to be with difficult emotions. There's a Pema Chodron book that I really love. It's an older book of hers, and oh gosh, what is it? I'm trying to think of what it's called. It's oh gosh, oh, it's gonna totally bug me. When Things Fall Apart. So, and it's not just for when things fall apart. I find that it's useful to read this book, and I go back and I visit it periodically through my life. And because there are just these nuggets of helping to be able to be with the groundlessness in life, those moments where we feel frozen or terrified or anxiety ridden and worried because of the groundlessness that happens in life, which does happen. Like, that's a part of our experience. And so I feel like there's some challenge around that. And I feel like that is something that, you know, is probably going to need to be worked with. And I feel like there might be a connection between those two cards there. So spiritual advice that's coming through is, you know, the Emperor card. And, you know, with the Emperor, I just feel like the Emperor gets shit done. The Emperor is a self-made man, right? He wasn't elected to rule this kingdom. He created it, right? He went out and conquered the world and created his kingdom. Now, you know, it's a metaphor. Like, I'm not telling you to step over people, like, but I am saying that you have the power to go out and to create the world that it is that you want to create. And I feel like that's a very empowering card. I definitely feel like there's a connection between these two cards as well, you know. And then we also have with that the Page of Pentacles, you know, and the Page of Pentacles feels like, you know, the solution is right there at your fingertips. It's right there, right? And it might require just like looking into things a little bit more, but there's like opportunities that are at hand. The pages are also very like naturally curious. So I would say maybe for some of you, this might require a little bit more like study as well. Like, you might have the desire to do that, but I feel like this is more about opportunity. I feel like this is more about being curious about what it is that you want to actually create for your world. You're starting into this new cycle. You're maybe moving into a new iteration of yourself, or, you know, you've come out of, let's say, the eclipse season. And so there is this, maybe you're stepping into what you want to do next, what you want your life to look like and feel like next, who you want to be around in your life, what types of people. All of these things might be up for question, you know? And so I would say you are empowered to create those things, right? And this is not from one of those like surface level manifest your dream type things. I do think that, you know, it's been overused. There is wisdom inside of that, but it's been way overused, right? I would say, you know, maybe the way I would phrase it now is that we have so much available to us, so many resources internally, and even if we don't think we have a lot externally, we have quite a lot to be able to work with in our lives. And so it's recognizing and empowering ourselves to do so by just deciding and making the decision to create the kind of world that we want to be living in. You know, maybe even start with your home. Does your home space support the kind of lifestyle that you want to be living? Whether that is with health or with maybe you're building a business, or with your studies, or with a relationship, or maybe you're trying to invite a relationship in, or your friends and community. Is your home life set up for that? Or is your home life set up in such a way where it is your sanctuary from the world, so that you have a place to rejuvenate and you have the energy to go forth, right? Those are just something like, that's just something I felt like, you know, was important to bring in and work through this. So I hope that this felt helpful. If it did, if you got any insight from it, please give the video a like. It does help me as I am building this channel. It really does. And also subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of these videos on the horizon. And also, I apologize, this is coming out a couple of days into the month, and that is just because the end of my month unexpectedly got pretty gnarly in October. So yeah, it's coming out a couple days into the month. So anyway, thank you for your patience. Thanks for your time. Thanks for being here. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.